Hi, friends. How are you? It's me. It's Jimmy. It's late, and there's a lot of stuff on my mind at the moment. So I'm going to wait for a little bit for everyone to come in, whoever is available, and just kind of chat while we figure out this thing called life. But I wanted to go live because there's just been a lot of things on my mind. And I don't know. I just felt like it was important to address it. And it may not be for everyone, and that's okay. But on my channel, I like to promote. Hi, Rose. How are you, darling? I like to promote an ability to be able to think for ourselves. And that's something I want to discuss today. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to come in. I am not here to talk about anything that is occurring online. This conversation is solely going to be about what I actually posted earlier this week about putting people on pedestals and if we subconsciously do that. So if you're into that, this is the stream for you. Otherwise, you're free to hang out and just chat. But if not, that's okay. Like, I totally get it. So I'm just going to kind of get into that in a second. I just got off of BX's stream and just kind of talking about a couple of things with him, and shout out to him for being so gracious. I've been following his content for a little while, and I just wanted to give him a bit of a shout out because, it does take a lot of courage to put yourself online and share a lot of vulnerable aspects of yourself. So I really wanted to give him credit for that. Um, so you're happy for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey. Girl, do you think they're gonna last? I don't know. Are they getting did they ever get married? I don't know. I don't know if they got married or anything, but um yeah, like actually this is a great time to kind of segue into the topic, which is, do we subconsciously put people on pedestals? And I only say that because I think that that's a point of reflection for many of us. I don't know if we're really consciously aware that we do it. I think that we sort of put people on pedestals without really knowing what's happening. Maybe it's our own expectations, maybe it's something that we think is like kind of what we would like to embody. um we don't know, right? Like, I don't. Whoa, wait a second. Hold the phone. I got cookies for Kevy Kev, honey. Hello, Mr. Kevy Kev in the building. What up, Kevy Kev? Wow. Wow. Listen, I actually baked cookies because today I was celebrating my mom's birthday and we made ice cream sandwiches with some chocolate chip cookies. How did you know? Anyway, happy 4th to you as well. Happy 4th to America. What a beautiful thing that is. Um, Regardless of anything, what anyone has to say about this country, what a blessing it is to live here, to be able to have the freedom to speak and articulate our thoughts as we choose. That is a blessing in itself. So happy birthday, America. It is 100% a blessing to be an American, and I am very grateful and proud to be one. What up, Kevy Kev? I got cookies for you, man. I know you on your thing. I could probably make them gluten free. I'm just letting you know. I got you, all right? Um, we're just here talking about pedestals and whether we put people on them subconsciously or not. So I thought, why not do a little short stream about that and just kind of feel it out, see who's around, and if you want to have an insightful conversation about that. Um, and just hear my voice for once, because it's a process to get ready as a lady, to be doing your hair, do your makeup, do all the things. You want to look pretty, you want to be, it's going to be memorialized on the internet, honey. We want to look very cute, very fresh to death. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do all that today. I'm just trying to talk and articulate my thoughts in a way that provokes conversation, because I think that, aside from all this stuff that's going on, sure, I have my opinions, but I feel like there are larger themes that, there's enough content creators covering all those things. I just have other opinions on general themes in life. Like this pedestal thing seems to be on my mind. So the question was that I proposed to the audience was, do we subconsciously put people on pedestals? And I ask that because I think a lot of us do that unconsciously. We don't realize that we might hold people to a certain standard, but that's based on our own projections, our own perspective, and we don't really see in that moment, like, is this appropriate? Because are we living that standard? That's something that, like, a lot of us don't realize. And especially when you become a content creator, you portray an image, right? So people see you in a certain light, people see you in a certain way, and you feel like you have to uphold that. But at what cost? Is it at the cost of authenticity? Is it because we are, projecting a part of ourselves that we wish we could aspire to be? I don't have the answer for that. I'm just kind of provoking the conversation for that. It's like, why do we do this? Is it that our society is in need of examples to look up to that are solid, not something that is curated, something that feels real, something that feels attainable? Why is it that if someone kind of falls out of that perspective, that it then becomes scrutinized, it gets demolished, it becomes something that you want to tear down? So is it like, are we building people up to tear them down? That's a big point of discussion there too. It's like, I've seen it happen where we kind of hold people to a certain standard and they mess up and they show their humanity, their flaws, and all of a sudden we kind of like destroy them, and we don't give them the grace to be able to work through their imperfections, which should be expected as a person, right? As a human. We shouldn't hold people to the standard of perfection. That's why I personally don't think pedestals are great. I think pedestals are terrible. Pedestals are an unattainable, unsustainable reality that no human can uphold, in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes. So I wonder that, because I think that, I can speak on my own experience. Coming into this space, it, like, when you become sort of like the person who has like words of wisdom, quote unquote, I'm going to put that in quotes. I am not a perfect human. Please believe me, honey, I am not a perfect human. I do not profess to be perfect. I am 1000% flawed. I make mistakes like a lot of other people. I don't have the same, like, I don't know, like, I'm a human. Sometimes I don't make the wisest choices. Even if I have the words to say them, I don't always apply them to my own life, because a part of the times, like, I have an ego just like everybody else. I definitely am flawed. And I think that sometimes, like, when you become a content creator, you're held to a different standard than everyday people. And you're held to a unattainable standard. People see you as somebody who's brave enough to put their face out there, their family out there, whether that's your choice or not, your talents, whatever the case may be. And they just have this perception of you that is like whatever is mirroring to them, right? And the minute you fall out of that, that illusion or delusion that they apply on you gets shattered. And then you, the human, gets kind of pushed aside, ostracized for being flawed, which is what most of us are. 99.9%, honey, unless you're God Himself. Okay. We are not perfect. We are not any of those things. And, I think about all of those things because I'm noticing it a lot in this space. And what happens if somebody chooses to change? What happens when we wear a different hat? What if we change our opinion? What if we just think critically and don't agree with the norm? What are we doing as a collective in that respect, right? Like, it feels like in this space, it's a lot of follow the leader versus becoming the leader, versus being your own leader, versus holding yourself to a standard that's sustainable for you. And yes, Kevy, that you hit the nail right there. It's idealizing someone, like treating them as flawless and ignoring their natural flaws 100%. And I think all of us are guilty of that. I think we all have attributes of not necessarily seeing people for being people, right? We have this, we sort of escape through the lives and lens of another person and don't realize that we're unconsciously holding them to a standard that we wouldn't hold for ourselves. And that's something that, like, is a flaw with humanity in general, right? Like, I think that a lot of us don't realize that we do it sometimes without thinking. We're like, well, this person puts themselves out like this. This is who they portray themselves to be. But honey, this is the moment that you're getting at this time. You're not getting the full picture. You're getting at 10:49 p.m. on Friday, July 3rd. This is who I am. And who says that you're supposed to have access to the entirety of who I am? Shouldn't those parts be reserved for the people you love? Shouldn't those parts be reserved for the people that are actually in your real life? Why does the internet feel that they should have access to your entirety, to who you are as a person, to who you portray yourself to be, to your being, to your essence, to your energy? These are just my thoughts. It's not anything to pinpoint at anyone. It's just thoughts that I'm having just based on observations, and just because I feel like at this point my channel is sort of a little bit of a thinking box. I do a lot of different talents. I have a lot of different talents. I have a lot of different skills that I'm very excited about. And because my brain is somewhat of an M brain, it is multiple different lanes being explored at once. I mean, it's hard to pinpoint, like, kind of like put me in a box of what I am or who I am. And I think that it kind of applies to all of us, right? Like, we're all very complex. We're all very flawed. We're all very diverse in the things that we like. Like, for example, I love to bake. I love to work out. I love to, like, I'm my tomato plant. We don't really talk about the tomato plant too much because, we don't talk about the tomato plant. But she's finally bearing fruit. I love to garden. I love to draw. I love to paint. There's so many things that I'm interested in just as a human that it makes me excited to be alive and to explore those things. But in the world that we live in, it's like you have to be in one lane. You have to be one version of yourself. You're expected to be one version. You're not allowed to explore other aspects. You have to be predictable. You cannot be more than that. And I think that's the problem that I have with what I'm observing just in general with our society. It's like when you're put on a pedestal according to what other people perceive you, you can't be more than that. You cannot be less than that. You have to be what the audience perceives you to be from the perspective of where they're coming from. And that's something that's so limiting that I don't agree with. I don't subscribe to and I don't want to be a part of. Like, I enjoy being multifaceted. I enjoy having various skill sets, exploring those skill sets. I enjoy making mistakes so that I can learn to grow from them. I enjoy watching people evolve from one version of themselves to the next and to grow. And we just don't see a lot of that anymore. We just see this like staying stuck in a loop of predictability. What happens when that person decides to break out? They're not allowed to because they've already been subjected to a pedestal that they didn't ask to be on. They're not allowed to grow from that point. And I mean, this stream of consciousness is to explore why that is. Why is it that we limit people, their potential, their ability to outgrow whatever version of reality someone else imposes or projects on them? Why are we stuck on only looking outward at the reflection that someone else gives us and expecting that person to grow, to make the right choices, but yet we don't do that for ourselves? These are the questions I have because as a human, I'm trying to understand what being a human is in all of this. Aside from the baking and all the fun stuff and the drawing and the painting, it's like these are questions that I come up with that I'm like, why? I think about my own thoughts. Like, does anyone else do that? Hello, Miss Jessica Souza. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Donnie, hello. Rose and Kevy, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Um, yeah, like I'm curious because I think that a part of the problem with what we're going through as a collective and in our internet space is expectations from other people of how we are supposed to behave, how we are supposed to be, is part of the problem. Who is anyone to set these expectations on anyone? Aren't we all in different phases and different parts of our growth and our process that like some people are just not meant to understand that, and that's okay? Where's the grace with that? Why does everything have to be a side or like picking, you know, team this or team like what about team truth? The truth is the truth, right? Like I mean, we can all objectively say that the truth is the truth, right? But what is it about our collective that feels that we cannot see things from that perspective, that we have to lock in on something that just feels comfortable? Why do we stay comfortable? Why don't we move outside of that? What is the what is holding us back from being able to perceive life in that perspective of just feeling that uncomfortability? Maybe I'm the only person who feels like that. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that there is a lot to be said about the internet, about society, about our collective, how we think, how we hold people to certain standards, how we don't hold ourselves to the similar standards, how we project things unconsciously, subconsciously. And, you know, I'm really curious about that and exploring that because as a parent, as a 40-year-old person, I'm trying to figure this all out too. I don't know life in the sense of like, I feel like I barely scratched the surface. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. And maybe that is a part of it, right? Maybe it is being aware of what you like and what you don't like. But I always want to understand why. Why do I think like this? Why am I putting myself in certain situations? Why do I feel drawn to certain things? Why? A lot of us don't question why. A lot of us don't look within. A lot of us just take all this information in and we just kind of blindly follow sometimes. We don't question the status quo. We don't push back. for fear maybe of being rejected or being the odd one out in having a difference in opinion. Why? Have we all been conditioned to think that this is normal? Have we normalized compliance? Have we normalized obedience? I don't know. These are just questions I have. And just something that I've just been reflecting on as I'm getting older and as I'm trying to figure things out, that like, it's difficult. It's difficult to know your place in a world that has so many systems and boxes, so many opinions, so many, ideas, whatever the case may be. There's just so much. How do you find your normal within all of that chaos? How do you find your lane when everything feels saturated? How do you not become how do you not become someone else's pedestal or example? I'm no one's role model. I can barely be my own role model, honey. Let's be 100. Okay, I could barely be my own role model. Okay, I am a work in progress every day. It's just, it becomes like just a question. Because I see so many content creators. And I mean, you all, people who know me from here know, like, I've been around, I've, given my time in a lot of spaces. I'm trying to facilitate my own arena that just kind of removes out of certain things. And that's not because those things aren't allowed to exist. I just think that, like, for me personally, I think that there is a different avenue that I can approach, which is just more about the thought process of like, what makes us think this way? What is it that draws us to these things? There's something deeper within us that we don't explore necessarily, right? Like, I do think that there is room for all of these things to be true and to exist, and everyone has a lane. I think that I'm just kind of just trying to figure out what that is. What is a lane? And granted, look, this is philosophy after hours, okay? This is for the secret philosophers of society to gather here at 10:59 p.m. on July 3rd of 2026. Tomorrow is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Happy 250th anniversary to our great country, America. Allegedly, the US team is doing amazing in the World Cup. Oh my God. I mean, look, as a Equazilian, okay, half Brazilian, half Ecuadorian, I should be rooting for the home teams. But listen, the ancestors and I can have a conversation about that later, but I was born and raised an American, honey. Okay? I'm a root for Team USA. I got to, okay? I got to root for Team USA. And I don't follow that stuff because I think it's very occult driven. But that's neither here nor there. We're not doing all that tonight, okay? But I love to be an American. I love this country. I'm very grateful for this country. I'm very grateful to be here. But I think that humanity has kind of found itself in a position where, have we deflected so much of our own internal growth by projecting it onto others? And that's where pedestals come from. We idolize versions of perfection, versions of a quote standard, by putting that on other people. And I can tell you one thing for myself. I feel like I kind of had a little bit of that. Not that I'm special or better than anyone. I think there's a lot of quote unquote voices of wisdom on the internet. But in this particular space, I kind of became that for people. And I totally love that. And I am grateful for it. But it's a blessing and a curse. Because the voice of reason is not allowed to make mistakes. And it's not allowed to be human to some degree. It's not allowed to be petty and shady, honey, okay? It is not allowed to be a person. It is only supposed to be what everyone has curated, or rather what I have put out there to be. And that's not necessarily true. It's a version, it's an idea, it's a perspective, but it's not its entirety. Does the internet deserve to know its entirety? That's up for debate. I personally don't believe it is, because I think that aspects of who I am is allowed to exist for the people I love and for the people I care for. And for who you see on the internet or who you hear or listen to on the internet is a version that I feel comfortable sharing. But it doesn't mean that it's the entirety of who I am. Because, honey, your girl can be a petty Betty, okay? She can be very petty Betty. She 100% can be petty Betty, even though I work very hard to not exercise that and to try not to be in that vibration. It exists 100%. Am I not allowed to explore that? Am I not allowed to be that? I don't know. But what I was saying to BX earlier on his stream is that when you become a content creator, it kind of becomes like you're a commodity to some degree. People feel like because they have access to you or to a version of you, they feel entitled to own that part of you. Yes, honey, let's listen. She could be a Petiana every day. Okay. Like, listen, she can give Petiana. Okay. She is Latin. Okay. Listen, the abuelitas of the world would sit around at a table with their cafecito and their little galletitas, their Goya Maria cookies, and dip it into the coffee and talk about how Juan Pablo on the second floor is having an affair with Maria on the third. Okay, stop playing with me. Stop acting like that doesn't exist. You know, you got it in every culture. Everybody got it. Okay, let's stop playing. There's the Petianas of the world that they be all interested in what everybody else got going on, and then you don't see your house falling apart. We are used to doing that as a society. We like to distract. But you know what? We don't know what was going on with Juan Pablo and Maria to have the affair. We just thought that it was wrong because how dare they do that? But we don't know what was going on in Maria's house or in Juan Pablo's house. We just see the surface of, oh, they're having an affair. Ay, Dios mío, mira, rebuke in the name of Jesus. Ay, no puede ser. I listen. Miss Nurse of Interest knows what I'm talking about, okay? Okay. Yes, honey, yes. And let me say hi to everybody in the chat. Listen, oh, Miss Michelle Beach is here. Yes, honey, yes, Mr. Kevin Kev is here. Hold on, I want to read this comment real quick. When I think of pedestal, I think of something to hold a statue or to have a solid base. So do we use that kind of, I think its definition as support? Does it really work to support the people? I think I understand what you're saying there, Kevi. It's true. It's like pedestals are just like, I don't know how I feel about these pedestals. Because listen, everybody got a little pedestal of Petiana, okay? Like honey, let's be 100. 100. Everybody got a little Petiana. Okay, everybody got a little pedestal of Petiana, but we hold people to a standard that sometimes we don't even attain ourselves. So who are we to do that? To put people on a pedestal, in my opinion, is a part of that is, yes, we can hold a standard, but in my opinion, it's giving like you think that to some degree, that person is the end all be all perfection, and ain't nothing perfect but God, honey. 100% ain't nothing perfect but God. Did we forget that? Did we forget that? You feel me? Did we forget that? We are not meant to hold another person being on a level of a standard. We are supposed to find whatever that standard is within ourselves, in my opinion. Now, that might not resonate with others, but I only pose this as a question and as something that I wanted to bring up as a conversation because what are we doing on this internet? Truly, what are we doing on these internets? On this internet street, on these internet streets, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? America is about to be 250. And let me tell you, the founding fathers, they had in Spanish, we call it a peluca, a wig. Okay, honey. They had the curls, they had all the things. And look at how much time has changed since 250 years ago to now. We held those people to a standard. Look at how different society is now. Why are we doing this? It just feels like a repetition of the same things. And granted, listen, honey, I don't have all the answers. This is just a stream of consciousness. This is not to direct it at anyone. This is just a conversation. This disclaimer, trigger warning, okay? This is very much just a conversation. It's meant to be thought-provoking because a lot of us have been just shaking our head yes or no, and we don't think for ourselves. So I'm just inviting for people to think for themselves. Do we do things unconsciously? Yes. How do you stop it? Awareness. Awareness is the key. It's understanding your own thoughts in real time. Why are they happening? Why are you thinking like this? Are you subconsciously manifesting / projecting something on somebody that you wouldn't hold yourself to that standard? That's a thought. Do we not take the time to think about it? Is it the society, the culture, that we're so fast paced? We're so into the yes, the right now, the yes, like immediate, instant gratification, that we forget a second to sit back and just smell the roses and just think. What is my participation in all of this? That's where I'm at. What is my participation? Am I subconsciously holding people on pedestals that I could not attain myself? I invite all of you to think about that. I invite all of you to remember that. Allegedly, listen, this is all for my conspiracy people, okay? I love a good conspiracy, all right? I don't know if y'all heard of CERN, but CERN is that big machine thing that's underground. That dike, they were looking for the God particle, honey. Y'all ain't gonna find God like that. It ain't a particle, okay? I don't know why we're spending billions of trillions of dollars on these machines to go into whatever timeline because y'all trying to summon demons and trying to find God. I don't know what y'all trying to do. But listen, the answer is not there, okay? The answer is not there, baby. It's not. And yes, there's the interest. What is your contribution? We have had our whole reality curated by people, places, and things that may not be necessarily in alignment. How much of our thoughts are God driven versus what has been implanted and conditioned into our mind? Oh, we getting deep today, honey. We're getting deep. Oh, 11:11, baby. Make a wish. We are getting deep right now at 11 p.m., honey. And listen, shout out to my mom. It was her birthday today. Mama Chimmy. She is alive and well. Thank you, Lord Jesus. God bless her and her good health. I thank her for birthing me into this reality. Sometimes I question it. I'm not even going to hold you. Sometimes I question it because I'm like, girl, are you telling me that I decided to pick y'all as parents and that y'all brought me into this reality? Honey, I would have picked something else. I'm telling you, it's no shade. It is no shade, baby. But you know what? We here, so we're going to make the best of what we have. Okay, we're going to make the best of what we have, and it is what it is. But I think about this stuff as a parent, how I'm teaching my daughter. If she's looking at me as the standard, am I meeting the standard? Is she subconsciously putting me on a pedestal? It's all of that stuff. It's trickling down. It's impacting your frequency, your environment. I think about these things. These are things that, yes, they keep me up all night, honey. Like they keep me up. Like I'm like, girl, like what am I doing with my life? How am I making an impact? What is it that I'm doing? Is it to elevate, to amplify, or is it to create negativity and to oppress? How is this stuff making you feel? I think about that. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Call me crazy. I don't know. It's a stream of consciousness right now. This is Thoughts with Chimmy. This is clocking it. And P.S. for anybody who's using the term clock it, let me tell you something. Clock it, as a New Yorker, clock it is very, very near and dear, honey. Okay? Clock it is something that the underground LGBTQ environment came up with, that in ballroom culture. So I don't know if y'all have watched Paris is Burning, but honey, they were clocking it tens across the board. Ballroom culture in New York in the 80s and 90s, especially in the 80s, was a big deal. It was where inner city communities found a space to be able to express their creativity of what they saw in the magazines of Vogue, etc. So the clockets, drag culture, that's the clocket. That is where that comes from. That's where it's birthed from. The reed, honey, listen, I am the petiana that exists, the chimiana. Okay, honey, the chimiana that exists very much in my energy. She can give a read, honey. I could read you for days. It takes a lot for me to not read some of these people on the internet, but I'm learning every day. I'm not perfect because not everything is worth your breath. Not everything is worth your opinion. Sometimes it's best to just let things play out. That's why I choose not to put people on pedestals consciously or unconsciously, because I understand nobody is God out here. Nobody. So I expect people to be flawed. But I'm a clock it, honey. Yes, I am. 100% tens across the board. I'm a clock it. Yes, I am going to clock it. 100, I'm a clock it. Clock it to the gods, honey. Clock it. Yas. Okay? We're going to clock it today. So that's where the term comes from. It's from a very underground culture, of people who didn't have the privileges and the benefits that other people had. Like if you look at Vogue culture, Vogue was born out of people who didn't have the access to designer. So when they would Vogue and they would battle in that way, it was to basically model what they saw, different positions and different poses that they saw in magazines with different designer brands that they couldn't afford. They alchemized that energy. That's the clock it energy, baby. Yes, that's the clock it energy. So when I say clock it, baby, that's what I'm referring to. That's a part of my upbringing. Listen, I love that culture. It is very ingrained in who I am, into my DNA. New York City is rich with culture, with fabulosity, honey, with clock it, baby. Look, I am very privileged to live in a very diverse, multicultural city. I've seen a lot of things. Truly, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And being born and raised here and not a transplant, I mean, baby, I wear that New York City like a badge of honor. Tell me that I cannot wear a freaking Yankees cap. Of course I can. That's my people's, okay? Mira, from Washington Heights to the Lower East Side to the Upper West Side, it don't matter. New York City is a very beautiful, cultured place. It's wonderful. I'm very grateful for that. And listen, if you want some good ass food, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get all of it here. You can go to any borough and get anything here. Okay? We're very lucky. We're very spoiled to be from New York. Okay? But anyway, I digress. Clock it. Yes. So clock it came from the LGBTQ community in the ballroom culture. It is one of my favorite terms to use because I could be a shady girl, honey. Listen, if I was a drag queen, yes, I would 100% be Petiana extraordinaire. Okay. Listen, God knew what he was doing, making me a female for real. Okay. Listen. He knew what he was doing. He was like, girl, I need you to calm down. I don't need you to be out here in these streets doing the most. I got a bigger mission for you, baby. And it's not that. You cannot be on that petty. Okay. But let me just see really quickly as I stream my thoughts. Oh my God, 41 minutes, Mira. And I'm over here thinking that I cannot create any content. I cannot even provoke any thoughts. And here I am, 41 minutes talking. Let me just see what's going on in the chat. What's up, everybody? Thank you for being here. I know this was so impromptu. I really, really, really appreciate everyone for being here. So grateful for everybody in the chat. What's up, everybody? Ow, ow. So Miss Donnie says, I can tell you the older we get and the more we learn about ourselves, the less we put folks on a pedestal. It turns into what I can learn from that person. It's an admiration. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. And the awareness in it being admiration is the key there, right? Because I think that sometimes we don't know the difference. And we only don't know the difference if we can't see it for ourselves in real time, depending on where we're at in our growth process. And I'm forever evolving, forever changing. I am always like, I'll say one thing and look, it'll sound like, oh, I'm talking from both sides of my mouth. No, it's just I have a right to change my mind. And sometimes I feel this way and sometimes I feel another way. And that's okay. No one should be demonized for that. No one should be demonized for exploring what their thought process is. Can we talk about that? Why are we out here being like, oh, people can't change? Yes, they can if they choose. Yes, they can if they want to. But do we accept that? No. Because once we have a perception, and granted, look, this is for a very specific audience. I'm not talking about the people who do evil things in society. Someone who fiddles underage people and children, that is a person that deserves to burn in the seventh ring of hell. I am not making excuses for that. I'm just talking about people on the internet who have differences of opinion. And how do we get to a point where no one is the standard? No one is on a pedestal because we're all flawed. A part of it is the audience plays a role in that. The chat does. The content creators play a role just as the chat does. We're all a collective. We're all in an ecosystem. We all are a part of an ecosystem. I've made this reference before. I have a tomato plant. Don't talk about it. Listen, don't talk about it to the people, okay? Nobody needs to know. That's between you and me, all right? On Friday, July 3rd at 11:21 p.m., New York time. Stop playing with me. Nobody needs to know about the tomato plant, all right? But that tomato plant is planted with a basil plant and some marigolds. That's the ecosystem. Every single one of them has a role. Every single one of them does something. But the marigold isn't putting the tomato plant on a pedestal. It's like, oh, I gotta protect you so you can make some juicy tomatoes. And the basil plant is like, oh, I gotta give you some sabor, some sazon, some flavor. Okay, I gotta protect you too from all the other insects and weird things. And the tomato plant is like, yo, good looking out, basil and marigold. Y'all got my back. Now I can make these fruits for these humans who are gonna eat my tomatoes. No one's holding anybody to a pedestal. They just know to exist as an ecosystem. And you know what? Sometimes the roots on the marigold, for example, in my situation, in where I planted some of the marigolds, the roots of some of those plants, they didn't survive. What am I going to do? Yell at it? No, that's a part of it. But that same plant that I thought was going to die, out of nowhere, I watered it a little bit more, even though I'm very on top of it. Okay, I don't want anybody to think that I'm neglecting my plants and my herbs. Okay, my herb gotties. Okay, I watered it, and then it started giving another flower. The petunias that were planted with it wasn't like, oh, mira, look at this marigold out of nowhere. No, they coexist. They coexist. No one's holding anybody to a higher standard. Because the freaking tomato gives fruit to eat to humans doesn't mean that it's less or more valuable than the basil and the marigold that has its role to play. Am I wrong? Is that incorrect to see it in that way? I don't think so, but that's just my perspective. How are we all playing a role in this internet space? Chat and content creators. What are we facilitating when we speak? What are we creating when we do these things? Why do we feel like we need to agree? Why are we not allowed to change our mind? Why does everything have to be to the standard that someone else sets that they don't maintain themselves? I just want to know that. Inquiring minds would like to know. I just want to know. What's that song? I want to know. I want to know. We're not talking about turning anybody on, okay? Listen, I know it's after hours, pero mira, tranquilo, okay? Everybody calm down. Okay, mira, calma. Take it easy, okay? Mira, cógelo con take it easy. We're not doing all that, but you know what I mean? Just the I want to know. That's it. I want to know. I just want to know. And maybe in this conversation, it's to invite all of you, think about why you're thinking the things that you're thinking. Have you ever thought of that? Why do we think the things that we think? Have we taken a second to really observe that? Have you ever sat back and been like, yo, why am I thinking this right now? What's the matter with you? You ever thought about that? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I spend too much time reflecting. I don't know. Maybe that's a me problem. I don't know. Could it be? Absolutely. Just like my kitchen. Yes, I am spicy like my KitchenAid. Yes, I am very spicy. Love my KitchenAid. She is so cute. I need to give her a name. I don't like to name things because, if they have to go away, I'm going to be so sad. And like, look, she's been hanging in there. Like that girl, listen, she has been around since my husband and I got together almost, it's going to be 20 years soon. That KitchenAid is holding on. She is like, girl, you want this cookie dough to be freaking whipped up? I got you, baby. Listen, she is my girl, just like my oven. I have a good relationship with all these things, okay? I don't play about my tools. I appreciate them. I'm very grateful. Very. They're amazing. And look, a KitchenAid is a great investment, especially if you're someone that likes to bake. 1000% recommend. You can get it at Costco for half the price if you want the professional. I have a professional too. She's light blue. I haven't shown her before. But the red is like my girl that I like to show sometimes because, she's like The artisanal. She's the artisanal girl. And she has a clear bowl, which was an extra thing. If you buy the KitchenAid, it's going to come with a metal bowl. Anyway, I digress. Okay. Stop trying to ask me for information. Just kidding. Yes, Rose. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Michelle, I'm so grateful for you. Oh my gosh. Hi, Miss Life. Hello. It's just my voice today. I didn't feel like showing my face. I've been up since forever and my concealer is cracking, honey. I'm not going to be on these internets with crack concealer. Okay, we're not doing that today. Okay, baby, no. Miss Donnie, can't you tell when you aren't in alignment? It's the feeling in your tummy. Yes, absolutely. And the flip side, when it's in alignment, the sense of peace is amazing. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. But sometimes I don't think that people know what alignment is, right? Like, I don't think that people really understand what that means. And that's okay. I think that most of us are trying to explore that. And that's normal. That's okay. No one understands it. Nobody gets it. It's totally fine. Fine. Look at me flying. Hi, flying. Listen, Miss Life Artist is in the chat. Shout out to Miss Life Artist. Miss Nurse of Interest, Miss Rose, we'll see you next time. Thank you for being here. Miss Michelle Beach, Miss Donnie. Yes, I know Kevin was here earlier. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice to just come onto the space and just have conversation without it having to be a creative thing. And it's not about the algorithm or anything, but trust and believe. Listen, I'm trying to build a space of alchemizing the things that we've gone through with creativity. And sometimes the creative aspect is having the conversations. And these are thought provoking conversations because our culture is just conditioned to just believe whatever's been said. Like I don't subscribe to that. I think everyone is allowed to think for themselves. Everyone is allowed to change their mind. I don't think that we should demonize people for having a different perspective. I think that as a collective, this whole divide and conquer has worked for a lot of the people who benefit from it the most. So it's why we're divided by race, culture, politics, etc. That in the long scheme of things, and in the grand scheme of things, rather, we're all united by being human. Unless you're a reptilian, honey, I cannot help you with that. Okay, listen. I am not a reptilian. I don't know what that is. I ain't cold-blooded. I ain't about that life. Okay, like listen, I am not shape-shifting. I am not trying to be on that type of time. Listen, I love to be a divine creature of the light, honey. God all over everything. I ain't on some reptile time. Okay, it is not reptile o'clock. Absolutely not. We ain't doing that. Nope. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. No puede ser. We rebuke in the name of Jesus. Amen. But yeah, y'all, like I'm just on this type of time. Just trying to think, inspire conversation, and hope that all of us can find a way to coexist without it having to be so negative. There's enough of that already. How do we rise above it? How do we become better? How? How do we love each other more? I mean, isn't that what Jesus Christ wanted us to do? Jesus was like, listen, y'all, the answer is very simple. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Well, listen, honey, I love thyself very much. Maybe I'll make some freaking cookies and brownies for that person, for that neighbor. But what if they got the diabetes? What if they got the diabetes? I can't help that person. That's not loving them. Maybe I'll do sugar-free. Maybe we'll use some Splenda. I don't know. I don't know. But I will say, though, if in fact CERN, that tunnel particle, whatever, trying to discover the God particle, and time has returned, and there's going to be something worse that's going to happen in 20. I don't care. All we can control is right now. And all we can control is just to be mindful. Pay more attention to our conscious mind and our subconscious. Don't put people in situations that you wouldn't maintain yourself. That's a very simple thing. Don't be so quick to judge just because someone doesn't agree with your perspective. Be open to maybe being wrong. Be open to what the information might be. Be open to having a different perspective. You don't live my daily life. I don't live your daily life. So do you really know everything? No. Don't be so quick to blindly follow something. You just don't know. Don't put people on pedestals that you wouldn't maintain yourself. It's a very simple concept. Don't hold people to standards that you wouldn't uphold yourself. That's a very, very simple way to look at it. Be grateful to have a mind that's functioning, to have the ability to think. We don't show gratitude for that. Pray for clarity. Be open. Don't allow your fears, your perceptions to blind you from what's right in front of you. Don't deny that inner compass, that gut feeling. Your gut tells you more than anything. And gut, honey, I didn't say your butt, okay? For all you scandalous people at 11:34 p.m. on July 3rd, okay? Your gut, not your butt. Clearly, I'm tired, but it's fine. I'll be fine. I'm probably going to wrap this up soon anyway, but I don't know. I kind of like these chats. I put a poll on my YouTube to see if people would prefer for me to go live on Friday nights because my family, listen, as much as I love a Saturday morning with some cafecito to have my beverageino in hand, the reality is my family wants to sleep. Okay, I am not gonna have my husband waking up at 8:30 in the morning to eat some breakfast, to get out of the house with my daughter so that I can stream. That is not a feasible slash attainable thing for me to do. So if on a Friday night I'm feeling froggy, I want to get on these internets and I want to talk my ish, I'm gonna do that, which seems a lot better because you know what, they're going Mimi right now. Mimi, for all the people who don't know what Mimi is go to sleep. Mimi, they're having Mimi time. You know, she's my daughter's probably on her fourth dream, and that's okay. That's better than her being outside. Because imagine what happens in the wintertime. She could be freezing out there. I am not going to do that to my child. So, with the utmost love and respect, if it means that we got to do this on a late night, even if we got to bake at freaking 11 p.m., honey, we gonna do that. Yes. Yes, we are. And Miss Donnie, thank you for sharing that recipe. Listen, my next series might have to be send me your recipes and I might have to make it and try it in real time. Listen, I am here for that. I love that. But actually, after I do my next baking live, we're gonna actually do another painting series. Hint, hint. We gonna talk about them birds. You heard? Listen, we are gonna talk about the birds because there are a lot of suspicious birds that I've been watching that are doing the funniest things that I'm like, of course you're a New York bird. And I feel like I want to pay homage to all of the birds, yeah, heard, that are doing very suspicious things in New York City. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Oh my, Terry. Oh, listen, let me tell you something about Miss Terry. Oh, I feel like every stream I got to say something about Miss Terry because she is an angel. I need y'all to remember Miss Terry calls it. She is the angel that blows the trumpet. She observes and then she blows the trumpet because God is like, listen, Terry, I'm going to need you to blow the trumpet. She's like, aye, aye, Captain. I got you. Okay? Don't play with Miss Terry. Do not play with Miss Terry. And actually, she is a part of the inspiration of the bird series that will happen after my next baking sesh because birds play a very significant part of our daily lives. We just don't take a second to pay attention to what they mean. Like, I'll give you a hint. So, I had a bird that I saw a raven. Not I had a bird. Mira, so I had a bird. Look, hi, my name is Chimmy. I had a bird. No. I was walking down by the river, okay, by the Hudson. And I was like, wow, that's a raven. That's an OD big raven that is flying into that tree. And I'm looking at this raven. I'm like, mira ese raven. Mira eso. What is it carrying in his mouth? Well, I will tell you. It was a slice of pizza. The raven had a slice of pizza. And I'm like, listen, raven, you know what's up. Because New York pizza, there ain't nothing like it. Okay, period. Period, point blank, and period. There is nothing like a New York slice of pizza. And it went into the tree. And look, I could be wrong. It could have been something else, but it looked like a pizza to me. So I'm going to definitely, certainly paint this raven with some pizza. Okay. It is 100% importante. Okay. It is necessary to talk about ravens and their significance and pizza and how delicious it is. I ain't playing with y'all. All right. Like, we are doing the whole series. I love the trifecta. I am just looking for a third bird. Like, the second bird is going to, I've shared this story, is the peacock that I saw at the Bronx Zoo who stole a cheese doodle. Mm, not the cheese doodle, honey. It stole a straight up cheese doodle. I was like, yo, you have to be from the Bronx, bro. Like, you are a Bronx peacock. There is no other way to describe a peacock that is eating a cheese doodle in the Bronx. I mean, it just makes the most sense. It is so iconic, like legendary status, tens across the board. So we got the raven with the pizza, we got the peacock with the cheese doodle, and I'm just like, gonna do a little bit of more bird watching. I've seen, like, like the blue jays, they're very loud. Listen, I must have been a blue jay in my past life because they are very chatty. Like, I'm like, listen, y'all are really on some extra. Blue jays, and they don't sound cute either. And it's no disrespect to the blue jays. They're beautiful birds, no shade. But cardinals, like cardinals, they sound very beautiful. They have like a cute little singing thing. They're very nice. I like a cardinal. But blue jays, they're very like yappy, yo. They must be Latin. They must be the Latin bird. It's no shade to my peoples. But yeah, the blue jay has to be a Latin bird, honey. Okay. It's giving, I like to gossip at 3 o'clock. That's what it's giving. It's giving very much that. Okay. It's giving. Listen, the Latin birds, mira, the blue jays. But we'll see what the next bird is going to be. I'm going to do some people watching, not in this freaking scorcher of the Sahara Desert in New York City, honey, because it is hot. Listen, it's hazy outside. Even my tomato plant, the tomato plant is like looking like it's going to collapse. Obviously not, but the roots are strong. It's surviving. But listen, everything is hazy. Everything is a problem. It's hot. I'm sweating. It's just like, ain't nobody want to be outside right now. I just want to chill inside with my fan and the AC blasting. I don't care about anything else. It's 3 days of this heat wave and then it's over, allegedly. I don't know. Next week is supposed to be a little bit better on the East Coast. I don't know. Mira, a woodpecker, listen, if I could see them, because they be hiding up there. I'm like, listen, the trees are too tall. Look, I'm a tall lady, but I ain't climbing up there. I don't want to see you. No, ma'am. At this point, I might see a blue jay. But you know what? It's like you got to catch these birds. Because in New York City, like pigeons, like when you're in the city, I'm not in the city right now. But like in the city, the pigeons be eating everything. Like they take the Chinese containers, they take the food from there. Like you see it with a freaking piece of like General Soul chicken flying in the air. I'm like, yo, bro, like how did you do that? Survival is real. Um, but the birds adapt, right? Like, it's eating a lox bagel, like, the remnants of it. I mean, these birds, they do everything. They do everything. They gotta eat. They gotta survive. I mean, talk about adaptability. It's like, and it's also depending on burrow. Like, if it's on the Upper East Side, it's definitely eating, some Wagyu. It's eating a Russ and Daughters bagel on the Lower East Side. Is maybe having, a chicken wing in Harlem. No shade, no disrespect. Is having a chimney in Washington Heights. Yes, it's having a chimney. It's having some plátano and salami in Washington Heights. The birds up there, yes, they are. The Dominican birds, of course they are. Ya tú sabes, tato, that's it. That's what they're eating up there. They're having some queso frito. Yes, some fried cheese, baby. Some salami. Some maduro. Maybe some mofongo. They having all the things up there. Okay? The birds in Washington Heights, they don't play around. Okay? They don't play around. What they got in Brooklyn, I don't know. Maybe they have like some oxtail, you know what I'm saying? Depending on where you go, the Jamaican areas. It just depends. They're very cultured in different places. The birds know what's up in New York. They got all the cuisines to experiment with. Scrape and scramble for them. And they be fighting too. Like, I'm like, damn. Yeah, savages over this chicken. Like, calm down. Here, have some sourdough bread. Oh. Yes, they go to Junior's and have a cheesecake. They go across. Please tell me somebody remembers that skit from Dave Chappelle, making fun of Diddy being like, I want y'all to go across the Brooklyn Bridge and give me a slice of cheesecake. Yo. The freaking cheesecake. But he didn't say cheesecake. He said Cambodian milk. But I'm not going to add the first part. If y'all want to add it in the chat, you can feel free to remember what that is in the chat. Okay, we got to keep it relatively PG. Even though she's not monetized yet, it don't matter. But yeah, that was so funny. Oh my God, I can't even. I want you to go across the Brooklyn Bridge. Get me some cheesecake. Yo, freaking, I can't even. That's why he's in jail right now, honey. He had everybody going to freaking Brooklyn and get him a cheesecake. Sir, you need to stay in jail, okay? Ain't nobody, you're deviant ass. Ain't nobody want that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, sir. No puede ser. And that's the one thing about Diddy that I would be like, yo, this man is literally making trillions of dollars just being like, yeah, take that. Yeah, shake that. Are you kidding me? I could have done that for less. All I'm trying to do is pay my rent. And this man making so much money saying that type of stuff. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Yeah, they're like that. He will always laugh. Nah, fugazi, yo. That's crazy. Music is like that, yo. Like some of these people, and they like he's just wiggling on the stage, sir. Like you absolutely contribute nothing. No disrespect, no shade. I ain't trying to have the Diddy fans come for me, bro. Like, absolutely not. No. Y'all wildin'. He really out here being like, yeah, take that, take that, take that. Senor, that's why you're in jail. No shade. Y'all be telling on yourselves. Stop it. But we ain't gonna go into the music industry. Absolutely not. But I will say, you know what? Your girl was really feeling country music. I was actually telling Terry and Miss 808 that today. I was like, y'all remember that song by Lady Antebellum? It's a quarter after one. I'm all alone and I need you now. Yes, period, period, period. Said I wouldn't know but I lost all control. Yo, that was my shine, yes. I used to rock that out. I would be like staring out the window when it was raining. I was like, picture perfect memories. Scattered all across the floor. Yes, period. I used to love that. That was so fun. Oh my God. I used to love that. Stop playing like y'all didn't do that too. You know, you had that one song that you would look out the window and start thinking about your life like, damn, these choices. Yes, everybody's doing country. What was the other one? The other thing I was listening to was Celine Dion the other day. When you touch me like this. When you touch me like that. What is the name of that song? Oh my God, that shit was so funny. I cannot. It's all coming back to me now. Yo, that was so dramatica. Like, you want to talk about somebody who is so dramatica? It's definitely giving Celine. Celine was like, here, wait, no, near, far, wherever you are. Yo, Titanic, she was giving all the jams, all the power ballads came from Celine. She really was out here. Wasn't she married to like a very old man? I don't know. It was giving very suspicious. I don't know, honey. But yeah, everybody's doing country. Yes, Beyonce doing country was a stress. It was a stretch, not a stress. It was stressful though. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, girl, this ain't Texas. Woo! It still sounds like her. It's like it's not even giving the twang. You know what I'm saying? And then she wins like best album of the year for a country album. And she only did a country piece. But listen, if she was gonna do that whole see, Renaissance was giving New York ball culture is like that, 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 that. That's the culture. That's the clock it. That's giving that. You know what I'm saying? But the country, I couldn't get behind that. I don't even know if any of that was like real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know she's from Texas, is cute, está bien bonito, the bedazzled, you know, cowboy hat. But listen, if you want to know about cowboys, hit up Miss Terry Doria, okay? Hit up Miss Terry Doria. Terry knows about a cowboy and a cowgirl, okay? The bull riding. But you know, I used to love that. Yo, I used to love that Lady Antebellum song. That came out what, like circa 20. Let me see. Espérate. Let me ask the Google. The Google. Yo, Google. What is up with Lady Antebellum? Lady Antebellum. It's a quarter after one. Yes, need you now. Hold on, espérate. When did it come out? 2000. Wow. 2009, bro. Wow. Listen, the only thing I like about Beyonce is like, you know, did I like her country album? I don't think so. No disrespect to all the Beyonce fans, okay? The Beehive. I ain't trying to have y'all come for me. I did like that song, Pure Honey, only because the beginning was like using the C word, you know what I mean? The CUNT, see you next Tuesday, but with a Y at the end. And the guy at the beginning is like, Kankarakankankarakanti, kankarakankankarakanti. I'm like, yes, 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 that drop. Yes, I'm giving that. That's exactly what I love. That is my vibe. It makes me want to vogue. It makes me want to be fabulous. It's like, it's giving that. Okay. We love that. What's another era? What's another era I really like? I really was into like the country music. Oh, bro. Yeah, remember? Everybody. Yes. Backstreet Boys. That video had me crying. I was watching it again, and watching it as an adult is such a different experience than when you watch it when you're young. Because I'm like, when you're young, you're like, wow, this is so cool. The graphics, the makeup, whoa, Nick is a mummy. But then Nick is a mummy, and he's every time he like, am I sexual? He like starts rubbing up on the sarcophagus. I'm like, y'all need to stop with that. Absolutely not. Not the sarcophagus, honey. Listen, AJ is like, what is it, the Phantom of the Opera, and he's very dramatico. Like, listen, it's giving drama class. But can we talk about Kevin though? Yo, mira, listen, God forgive me. I don't like to talk about another man that's not my husband. But Kevin was giving Betty Betty Q. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Absolutely not. I'm not gonna lie to you. Betty Q, Betty Q. And now he looking like an anime character. I don't even know what to tell you, honey. He is looking like he came out of the page of the Balenciaga runway / Rick Owens. Like, it's giving very demonic coded, but like very cool aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving very much that. Yes, yes, honey, yes. Yes. 100% Terry clocked. We clocked it. Yes. We clocked it. Period. Mira, he's very, very, very cute. Mira, he aged very well. And listen, Howie D from Backstreet Boys has a song. What is it called? I looked it up. I sent it to Miss 808. I was like, Miss 808, stop it. And she's like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, girl, I know. Howie D, the song is called Coqui. Sir, you could have been the Despacito of the era, honey. And you went and you decided to do this when you looking like a unk, baby. And it's fine, because you know what? He's adorable. I love him very much. He's very, very nice. Pero I was like, excuse me, senor, you're out here doing coqui? Howie D from Backstreet Boys? Nah, you island. You missed your boat, sir. That should have been like during the Daddy Yankee era, you know? Instead of what's his name? Luis Fonsi? Is that his name? My Latin people in the chat. Who's the Despacito guy? Despacito. Yeah, Luis Fonsi, that guy. He had a big ass forehead. No disrespect to my guy. No disrespect. No disrespect to my guy. Mira. I ain't trying to be a shady girl. You see, Periana is arising at midnight. Mira eso. I'm not usually up this late. That's the problem. See, my stream of consciousness is turning into many things. Mira eso. Despacito, ya tú sabes. Featuring Daddy Yankee. Yo, every reggaeton artist, for all my Latin people and anybody who listened to reggaeton back in the day, they would forever be yelling their names. They're like always like, yo, Wisin y Yandel, Daddy Yankee. Like, I'm like, bro, like, I got it the first time. I know who the artist is. I get it. You don't gotta yell at me in the process, bro. Like, está bien. You're right. But it's always so dramatico. Everything is very, 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 very dramatico. What's another one? Rakimi Kenway. Yes, Rakimi Kenway. Yo, Rakimi Kenway. Every song, without a doubt. They will always yell each other's names, like, or they will always like put it in a song like that. It's in every reggaeton thing, all the time, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Mira, without a doubt. Mira eso. Without a doubt. ¿A dónde salió? Where did that come from? Without a doubt. Mira eso. Oh my God. Hold on, let me check the chat because the baddies are here. Period. Y'all trying to party tonight? Miss Gracie, mira, Miss Gracie, ya tú sabes, linda. Yes, Miss Life is here. Yes, Luis Fonsi. That Despacito song has 9 billion views. That's absurd. Who played it on repeat 9 billion times? Stop it. Stop. Stop it. No puede ser. It's not right. Luis Fonsi. Wait, Justin Bieber has a remix of Despacito? Absolutely not. That poor child, he has been through so much. Wait, who's? I need to look this up, Miss Nurse Interest. I am looking it up in real time. Morgan. Is this a country artist? Oh, yeah, it's definitely giving country if he looked all bruised up in the first video. I got better. He definitely is giving that. Why they got that twang, though? I want to know about that twang. Morgan Wallen. Where he from? From Tennessee? Mississippi? There, wait a second. He had a song with Lil Durk. Absolutely not. See, like the fusions, it's like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Is it just me? Sometimes. I don't know. Mira, I got the phonies today. I want to laugh. I want to be one of those. Wait, Morgan Wallen. Why do I feel like I know this person? All of them all sound the same. 20 cigarettes, whiskey. All you country people, all y'all do is talk about whiskey, cigarettes, girls. You got problems. You got depression. I mean, y'all got all the things, baby. Like, girl, honey, sir. Mira con calma, please. Wasn't that a song? Con calma. Yes, I think it was Con Calma. That was like a Daddy Yankee remix of the Snow Informer song, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Like, listen. Are we going through music history right now? Oh my God. Listen. Terry. Terry's waiting for her country cowboy. She want a country cowboy. She does. Period. Am I going to keep this live stream up? I don't even freaking know. It's so good though. Like I feel so glad that I am like letting loose. At Mira, happy 4th of July, America. America, America. This is America. Hey, hey, this is America. Happy Independence Day. This is America. Hey, hey, yes. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. Happy 250th anniversary. Peep tomorrow around 6:30 p.m. I have a new short coming up because it's clear like people like to hear me talk, but then I start to talk about sour cream and y'all not even interested. I mean, the algorithm is interesting like that, but you know what? I have a makeup look coming out tomorrow that I worked on that I am very like, listen, she's giving like she is a pop girly. Honey, she is Americana. It's blue eyeshadow. It's red lipstick. Please check it out tomorrow. It's going to be so cute. I can't even freaking deal. It's so cute. Listen. Wait, hold on. Miss Gracie says, I remember when Despacito was sent to me, I was in the desert in the middle of Australia, and indigenous kids were all playing it, the song Despacito, Aboriginal Australian change. Oh, listen. There's something about the chemistry of that song that really set people. Like, it didn't matter where you came from. Everybody was bopping to that. Everybody. Everybody, listen. Everybody. Everybody in the club get tipsy. Hey, everybody in the club get tipsy. Who remembers that song? Hey, hey. Listen, y'all don't even know half of it. Your girl was definitely in the clubs. Okay. Yes, freestyle with Chimmy, period, with the Brotherginos. Who has a Brothergino? Listen, it was my mom's birthday yesterday now, as of 2 minutes ago. And we were celebrating. We had about a couple bottles of Prosecco. So, yes, your girl was celebrating with my mama Mia, and she is the best. I can't believe she's turning 70 next year, so she's 69. Listen, for all you dirty folks, don't even think about that number like that. Listen, I don't even want to hear it. Stop it. I see you. But she's very fabulosa. God bless her. Such a blessing that she's around, and I love her so much. Like, she's amazing. So we celebrated. It was very cute. I made a seafood boil, an Asian style seafood boil. Yo, that might be my next stream because listen, I am missing out on some real coins, some coinage with sharing content on how to cook some of this stuff because Lord have mercy. It was so good. Like I did a seafood base. Well, obviously it's a seafood boil, but you know how you have to like boil the food first? I did a broth with Old Bay, a couple of stalks of lemongrass, lemon. Um, I added garlic, fish sauce. What other aromatics did I add? There's a couple of things. And you let that boil first. And then after that, you start cooking all of your stuff. But then the butter is where it's at. Kerrygold, AKA the best butter of all time, is Kerrygold. And you melt a whole bunch of Kerrygold, you add some Old Bay, and we did a scallion ginger sauce, but with butter. It was butter based. Listen, I don't care about my arteries right now, but I will tell you that it was fabuloso delicious. It was so good, you guys. Like, stop it. Thank you, thank you. Yes. Doña Chimmy, La Señora Chimmy. It was her birthday. She's a Cancer, honey. And I'm a Taurus. We get along just great. Not just kidding. I mean, we do to a certain extent, but she's fabulous. I mean, what a blessing. We forget how good our parents could be and can be if we forgive and move on. Because, look, and it's not everybody's story. I'm not trying to put that out there, but my mother and I, like, she's a wonderful person. I learned a lot, and I'm just very grateful that I'm where I'm at with her now. And that's also due to the fact that I had my relationship with Terry, and Terry, because I had such a good relationship with Terry and I have one, it helped me realize how to have a better one with my mom. And I thank Terry all the time for that because she's amazing. She's my girl. I love Miss Terry. She's my angel. Hold on, wait a second. Mira. Yes, hugs to you, beautiful Gracie. I see you dancing, Mira. I might have to do a short with you. I might have to actually dance with you. Y'all don't know dancing Jimmy yet. Listen, your girl used to be on some dance hall stuff, okay? Like, I loved, when I tell you that I loved dance hall, but not the contortionist type of like twerk with your leg over your head and like, your whole hoo-ha is out. No, 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 no. Okay, like I like to do dance hall the way the guys like to do it. It's a very coordinated choreography. It's nothing very escanduloso. I ain't trying to do a split into a twerk into a backflip. I ain't trying to do all that. This ain't the Cirque du Soleil. I don't got the bendies for that. Okay, I am not that flexible. But I was telling Seroita, like I was like, yo, like every dance hall song was fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. Like bust a wine, bust a wine, bust a wine. Bend over, bend over, bend over. Like, yo, everything is like bend over with your boom, 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 boom. Like, yo, y'all trying to get pregnant? Like, what is going on? This is crazy. I went to a club in Brooklyn. I'll never forget this. Yo, they would be so OD. Like, I walked into that club, paid for my ticket. Hello, sir. How are you? Check my ID, check my bag. I ain't got nothing in there. I'm in the most oversized Adidas shirt and leggings on, okay? And sneakers, because I already knew it was going to be a process, all right? Like, dance hall is not that's a sport. I go in there and literally you see the men, but all the women are bent over, bent over, bent over. Like, everybody is bent over. Everybody. And all it is simulating, you know what? Certain activities. And I'm like, Santo Dios en el cielo, where is my holy water? I cannot be here as a married person. This is so inappropriate, but like, I love every second of it. I loved it. I love the music. I love the fast wine. I love, like, pum pum. I love all that sangha pum pum shores. I was like, yes, God, give me all of it. Like, period. It was so good. So fun. And then when we got a chance, when all the women came up for air, and here I am giving water to all these girls to stay hydrated, that's when we would actually, dance for real without all the contortionist stuff. It was great. I loved it. I loved the clubs in Brooklyn. That was so fun. That was such a different era for me. Like, yeah, girl was fast wine, fast wine. Like, I love that stuff. Listen, Miss Terry, bend it, baby. Listen. Bend over, bend over, bend over. Everything is bent over. Come sit on the coquille. Like, I'm like, excuse me, mira, keep it PG, baby. What are you talking about? Sit on that. Everything. Everything is like, yo, like, at this point, why don't you just say, like, we're trying to have a baby? We're trying to start a family. I bet you, like, if they would have said that, then it would probably keep people less inclined to want to bend over at that point. Yeah, date la vuelta, la vuelta, la vuelta. Hey, listen, people out here are escandalosos. Let me tell you. Escandalosos esta gente. Listen. Everything is so scandalous. I'm like, yo, y'all are wild, bro. Look at that. Here I am talking about putting people on pedestals, and now we're talking about bending over. I mean, what are you going to get at midnight with Jimmy is this. We're an eclectic group here. We like many teams, okay? We like all the teams. Jeez. But the after club snacks were the best, man. If I wasn't in the city and getting pancakes at a diner, I was definitely getting like a chimney in Washington Heights after the hookah and all that stuff. Bob Smith, hello, welcome. It's midnight. What is this? Everything and nothing at all. Welcome. We're talking about all the things. You can check out my other content if you'd like, and then you can get a little bit more efazón, all right? A little sazón. Yo, el alfa, I never understand what that man be saying. Absolutely not. Yo no entiendo. Everything is very much like, that is a level of language that I'm like, that is a version of Spanish I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't. Respectfully. Bob is like, what is el alfa? I'm just kidding. Yo, probably Bob is el alfa. Stop playing with me, Bob. Stop playing with me, Bob. I know you're el alfa. Just kidding. Bob. Tell me everything, Bob Smith. Go ahead. Yes, you love it, period. Yes, welcome. If you're in America, happy 4th of July if you celebrate. Happy 4th. Happy 250th to our country. What a beautiful place to be. Listen, no one is in trouble. Bob is fine. Bob is fine. Oh, stop it, Gracie. Is that why you love me? I knew it. I knew it. The Australian version of me. Wow. My doppelganger, I can't. I cannot. That is so exciting. I love every second of that. I want it memorialized forever. I might have to print this, screenshot this, and print it forever. It will live on that I have an Australian doppelganger. I'm here for it. I love that. Oh my God, mira eso, an hour and 34 minutes. A whole lot of nothing. Mira, talking a whole lot of nothing. But we had to clock it, honey. We had to clock the people who put people on pedestals, baby. We cannot be doing that, okay? And listen, the sass came out. I can't help it. The clockiana came out. No, not the evil. Oh, she has a beautiful singing voice. Listen, that's one thing I wish I would have been better at is I should have been a musical theater person. The dramatics, check. The singing voice, semi check. I could hold a pitch. But in terms of like, I'm not Whitney Houston, honey. Absolutely not. Like I could sing along. I could dance a little. The dramatics are definitely giving Oscar worthy. Okay, like stop playing with me. It's in my DNA. Okay. Oh, look at that. My cat is up. Mira, you naked boy, I need you to calm down, go get a snack, and go right back inside because listen, it's too hot even for him. Okay? Too hot for this cat. This cat cannot deal. Yes. I'm talking about you and you're looking dead at me. Yep. Yep. Talking about you. Estoy hablando de ti. Absolutely. Yep. You better get that water. Stay hydrated, boo boo. Absolutely. Ya tú sabes. He's so uncomfortable. I feel so bad because he's like, JB, yes, not to be confused with J Bro. His name is JB, okay? Look, I had this cat before I ever met J Bro. Stop playing with me, y'all. Like I can't call Brill JB ever. I have to call him Brill. Like that's just what it is. Otherwise, it's the cat, and I cannot do that. JB, they share like initials. What am I supposed to do about that? Call it fate and destiny. I don't know. But JB is my cat. Period. Jelly bean. Okay? Jelly bean. And he's only jelly bean because he has no hair and jelly beans are smooth. All right? Gato, un señorcito. A little boy. He's so beautiful. He's a juicy boy too. He's like beefy. Because boy cats are kind of like that, They're kind of beefy. Look at him. He has to find water in any receptacle. This cat will be fine. He will survive in life. He will survive with the apocalypse. He will find water anywhere he goes. He finds water in, like, we have to lay out several receptacles of some form of liquid for him because he doesn't like to, like, have just one water vessel. He has to have many. Then he'll meow by the sink for us to give him some water in there too. Sometimes he wants it fresh, I mean, can't blame him. He's eating dry ass pebbles, I get it. I get it. But he's a Sphinx cat, so he's a little naked. He can't regulate his body temperature. So today it was for my Australian folks, aka Miss Gracie. Let me see the weather today. I think it was like 30 degrees Celsius, which is kind of hot. I mean, so it was 100 degrees here. Yeah, actually 37 degrees Celsius. If it's 100 degrees here, it was 37 degrees Celsius, almost 38. So it was hot for sure. Very, very hot. But yeah, it was so hot. Like your girl was melting, honey. And I was making mira, and I was like, oh, let me have the bright idea to make my mother a seafood boil on this hot day. Her birthday's always hot, and tomorrow it's going to be hot too, but the weather's going to go down for a little bit. Thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. Who knows that song? Do, 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 do. All the other melodies on the middle in between. Yo, that's Chloe Bailey for anyone who didn't know. But that girl, she could sing. But you know when somebody does too much? When someone does a little bit too much, like it's like overly like effort, like the effort doesn't need like to me, someone who's sexy, and listen, it's after hours, okay? Someone who is on that type of energy doesn't have to try too hard. They just are, right? Pero this girl is like, licking a microphone, bend over to her cootie cat, like tap it, all this. It's like, girl, like that's not that's not it. And it's no shade. It's no shade. Because you could be a baddie without doing all that extra. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Is it just me? Some of these females like y'all be doing too much. It's like, yo, like just keep it cute. A man is gonna love you for who you are without doing all that extra. Like you don't gotta tap the cootie cat on camera. It don't gotta be like that. It don't. It don't have to be like that. But who am I? I'm just a 40-year-old lady on the internet. What am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do? Absolutely nothing. Okay. But anyway, y'all, I think at this point, unless anyone has anything to say in the chat, first of all, I appreciate all of you for being here. I think I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 2 hours being on here. I was tired. I made a seafood boil. I baked cookies. I mean, I did the thing, y'all. I did the whole thing. My love language is to cook for you, bake for you. I'm gonna cater to you. Yes. Put on your cufflinks. Yo, who remembers that song? Wait, that song was so good. It was Destiny's Child, Cater to You. Stop. That song was so funny. That song was so fun. Wait, I'm going to read the lyrics and then I want to read one more set of lyrics. Cater to you, Destiny's Child. Put on your cufflinks. Yes. Lyrics. All right, you ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on. Where? Here. Okay. Let's read it normal. Baby, comma. I see you working hard. I want to let you know that I'm proud. Let you know that I admire what you do. Don't know if I need to reassure you. My life would be purposeless without you. Yeah. If you want it, you got it. When I ask you, you provide it. You inspire me to be better. You challenge me for the better. Sit back and let me pour out my love letter. Let me help you. Take off your shoes. Untie your shoestrings. Take off your cufflinks. What you want to eat, boo? Let me feed you. Let me run your bath water. Whatever you desire, I'll supply you. Sing you a song. Turn my game on. I'll brush your hair. Help you put your do-rag on. Want a foot rub? Absolutely not. You want a manicure? Mira eso. Baby, I'm yours. I want to cater to you, boy. First of all, the problem there is boy. We only deal with men. Okay. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Do anything for my man. Baby, you blow me away. I got your slippers, your dinners, your dessert, and so much more. Yes. Paria. Who is giving their man a foot rub? Is no disrespect. A manicure? Tú tá crazy. You better go to the salon. This song was great. I mean, I'm not even gonna hold you. It was pretty funny. Put on your cufflinks. That was my favorite part. A cufflink. That's when I learned what a cufflink was. What? I didn't even know what a cufflink was. That's some bougie stuff. You know, normal people don't wear cufflinks. Artists definitely don't wear cufflinks. It's no shade. We're too poor for cufflinks. Do we have boys in the chat? Where? ¿A dónde? Show yourselves. Show yourselves if you're a man in the chat. Boys in the chat. But boys in the chat. Boys in the chat. But boys in the chat. A song to never play for you? Absolutely. I'm not going to show this to my daughter. No. What's a song I'm going to show for my daughter? See, but all these songs are kind of like whack. You know what I'm saying? It's no disrespect. It's just more like Bob. Bob left. Bob Smith was like, absolutely not. This is too much for my brain to comprehend. I am not spending the 4th of July here. Absolutely not. Bobcito was like, nope. Nope. Remember Beyonce Partition? Oh. See me up in the club with 5011 girls. Posted in the back, diamond fangs in my grill. Brooklyn brim with my eyes sitting low. Every boy in here with me got that smoke. And every girl in here got to look me up and down. All on Instagram, cake by the pound. Circulate the image every time I come around. G's up, tell me how I'm looking, babe. Listen. Drive around the partition, please. Listen, y'all not ready for that. Drive around the partition, please. Wait. What was that other song I was gonna sing to y'all? I'm sorry, my voice is not great, but you know, I love to do this type of stuff. What's another song? Let me think about it. Oh, yes. Here, this is my jam for everybody. And I want you to guess the artist when I say it, all right? Based on the lyrics. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this? I am not looking at the chat right now because I'm reading lyrics. So if you're in the chat, I'm going to read a couple of lyrics and then I'm going to check, okay? Mira, okay. So it's going to start like this. Yeah, yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah. Look. Me versus you, and you know who they picking. Cheap and expensive, you knowin' the difference. You know that it's hitting. You know that it's given. Hairs, nail, polar bear. I can survive in the coldest conditions. Hoes better lower, they tone when they spittin'. Bitches is washed, soap in the dishes. I apply pressure like boa constrictors. One bish, two bish, old bish, new bish. None of y'all bitches not gon' douche. I'm in Miami, I pull up on cruise ship. You in Miami for host to a room When I step, it's stampede. Foot on neck, can't breathe. Lucky Charm, Van Cleave. Diamonds on the dance team. I see my ops linking up. I'm like, what in the If you scared, then just say it, ho. Enough is enough. They was just in my DMs. Ain't no trust in these I'm about to call up Diamond. Nuck if you buck. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. Who is that? Bye, Miss Gracie. Thank you for being here. Who is that? Who did I just say that? Who is this? Who is that? I will continue to read this poetry. Pause. They was just in my DMs. Ain't no trust in these I'm about to call up Diamond. Nuck if you buck. I'm like, ooh, child, cool down. Too hot, too wild. Mood glare, new style. How you with me, girl? Give me one shot and I'm raising this glass. Give me 2 shots and I'm shaking this ass. Give me 2 shots and I'm giving a butt. 4 or 5 shots and I'm ready to... Ay, mira eso, qué vulgar esta mujer. Mira, yo no puedo decir esa cosa. God gave it to me, so I gotta pop it. Okay, mira, pero I don't know. That's debatable, girl. Because you know you have some enhancements, and that was not by the Holy Spirit, baby. Okay. You had some enhancements, and they were not by the Holy Spirit, honey. Okay, listen. It's all right. Listen, you got your Hollywood doctor. Está bien. But the Holy Spirit had nothing to do with that, baby. Okay. So she goes, I'm litty, I'm pretty, I'm running this city. in every department. This ass heavy and thick like peanut butter, and bitches is jelly about it. Oop. And oop. Not Little Wayne, Miss Nurse Interest. Oh, Miss Melanie is here. Hi, girl. I gotta be very quiet. It's already after hours in Casa de Jimmy, okay? And I actually gotta be popping off this live. Look at me on a Friday going on this live. Mira es so ay Dios. Absolutely not. The song that I just read, the lyrics were by Cardi B. It was by Cardi B, not Lil Wayne. If Lil Wayne was saying that his ass is heavy and thick like peanut butter and bitches is jelly about it, I have several questions. It's no shade, honey. Listen, at this point, everybody, okay, everybody be doing that stuff. Todo el mundo, everybody, okay? Todo el mundo. Everybody. Listen. Yes, Miss Melanie, listen. It's only Miss Cardi B that would say something like that. He likes some thick, yes, but I hope it's not his fatty. Okay, listen. I cannot. Yo, imagine like at this point you might as well, honey. You might as well. You might as well. Like, I mean, this is crazy. This is a locura, honey. This is like what is it giving? If he's talking about when I hop out, it's stampede, foot on neck, can't breathe, Lucky Charm, Van Cleef. Like, if he's wearing Van Cleef, I also have questions. You know, like I don't do this ritual stuff where like men be dressing like women and it's like all for the rituals, you know, because they all sold their souls to the devil, honey, and they have to like put this agenda. Absolutely not. I don't want to see Lil Wayne and Van Cleef. And I don't want to hear that, the gang hit that said it was regular. Absolutely not. Like, no, 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 no. I'm looking at these lyrics and I'm like, what? Wow. No, no Van Cleef for Lil Wayne. Stop it. Stop it. Absolutely not. Melanie, I was talking about country music earlier. We were talking about Lady Antebellum. It's a quarter after one. That was such a good song in 2009. Oh my God. I remember exactly where I was at when that thing came out. That was the only song that I felt like pitch wise I could hit. Because, Leanne rhymes and she's like, how do I live without you? I mean, that. No, I'm not even going to try to hit that note at 12, almost 12:30 a.m. Okay, absolutely not. New York time. No. Never survive. Okay, I tried. All right, I tried. That was not happening in real time. But some of this country stuff is funny. I love it. I actually really do enjoy some of the country stuff, but the old school stuff. I like the old stuff. Yo, have y'all seen Shania Twain? That she's on tour and she's like 70 wearing her panties and her bra with a sheer thing on top. I'm like, excuse me, senora. Mira. Look, I ain't knocking her. Her body looks good for 70 or however old she is. But I'm like, listen, senorita. I mean, aren't you supposed to be dipping your cookies in some coffee or tea right now, girl? Like, I mean, God bless. Because look, I'm not going to age shame a lady who was a singer. Like, I hate that. No disrespect. People are out here being like, J-Lo should not be wearing a thong on stage. Well, J-Lo's body is still banging, and there's no shade. And I don't like J-Lo like that, but I will be objective and say her body is still banging. She's looking a lot better than some younger people out here. And look, she could be a diva and she could act like she could sing better than her daughter who can actually sing. I mean, her children are Mark Anthony's children. And let me tell you something. Mark Anthony looks like a raton, okay? That he was drowned under the water, honey. But that voice, listen, that's angelic as hell. Like, he is, wow, his voice is out of control. El último beso. Listen, you have me at, mi corazón es tuyo. Listen, my childhood right now is giving, okay? My childhood is singing, está cantando with Aguanile. Yo, for the people in the chat that know what I'm talking about, it's a rap. Mark Anthony's voice is legendary. Beautiful voice, that man. Not an attractive dude. Absolutely not. And it's no shade. That is not a penny dropper. It is no shade. Okay? So J-Lo being like that, she's going to start singing when she got a man that made children with a man that sings like that. I mean, her children were going to be kind of talented. No disrespect. She's a performer, though. Like Britney, like, no, look, I love Britney. No one can come for Britney in my eyes. No one can like give me shade for Britney. Britney is that girl. She is iconic. She is a legend. She is a star. She always was that. I don't care if she's with machetes and slicing up the internet, honey. It don't matter. Britney Spears was the blueprint for all these pop girlies who came after. Okay? It is no shade. No shade, honey. No. Pero Mark Anthony, I know. J-Lo, listen. So I was supposed to go to Japan March 2011, but the tsunami happened the day I was supposed to leave. And we ended up redirecting to Thailand because we had a college friend living there. And actually, it's the guy who set my husband and I up. It was his childhood friend. And I, at the time, was like, yo, you got any friends that are cute? You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, my friend. And he's a little bit taller than you. That was a lie. I mean, he had no concept of size at that point because I'm taller than my husband. But what are you going to do? And this guy, he was living in Thailand at the time. And he's from the LGBT, and it ain't no shade. I love all my peoples. I clock at the house. I do all the clocking. It is what it is. We're very Britney oriented. We're giving, okay? So we ended up redirecting our flight from Japan to Thailand. And I will never forget, I went to a club, a gay club in Thailand. You have never seen a trans person be more beautiful than in Thailand, period. The lady boys, listen, the surgeries, the body, espérate, it was giving convincing, it was giving almost organic, okay? I don't know what to tell you, but it was very, very, very much fabuloso. And there was this one queen who was J-Lo. And this is a time when On the Floor was very popular. So the Thai ladyboy did not know the lyrics to On the Floor, so he was mouthing off, I don't even know what he was saying. But it was giving, the mouth was not matching the lyrics, and it was still iconic. Okay, honey. He was death dropping to the gods. It was very much 10 across the board. Okay, 10s across the board. Very much giving that. And it was just a fun time. The only thing, though, that was really creepy about being in Thailand is that, listen, and this is no disrespect to my girl Gracie, but the Australians really love the Thai people because it's like right there. There were a lot of Australians in Thailand at the time when I went. And it was just like a little creepy to see how these people treat what they believe is other people in third world countries. It's like they're not a piece of meat, guys. Like, calm down. Like, they're still humans. Like, have some respect. Put some respect on my name. You know what I'm saying? Put some respect on these people's names. But, if you've ever been to a gay club, honey, it's like that. They be touching your bits. They don't care. That's like a hello. Here, let me touch your bits. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Oh, Pero excuse me. Excuse me. That's how it is. Nobody touched my biz, honey, because we would have been fighting. That razor blade would have came out from underneath my tongue, honey. Okay? It was giving very much that. But I wasn't going to let nobody do that to me. No, we are not violating in another country. Absolutely not. But it was a great time, you guys. It was so fun. Oh my God, it's almost, should we do a 1 a.m. end time? I think we could do that. This is what, a 2-hour stream, 2 hours and a half? It's the 4th of July. Everyone's off tomorrow. I am not streaming tomorrow morning, P.S. To all you lovely people, I am not streaming tomorrow morning. Absolutely not. I just did this one impromptu because I was really having certain thoughts about what I was thinking with this pedestal situation. And I thought, why not? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the pedestals. And then we just like went into music and all the other things. So there's that. But yeah, you guys, I don't know. Life is just life, and I just have many thoughts. Just want to provide a more thought-provoking space where we can all kind of gather and think of our footprint, not only on the internet, but on the earth. I don't think a lot of people are conscious of that. You think you don't matter, but you do. Even your screen name, it matters in the grand scheme of this large collective that we live in. You just don't think that you make an impact because you don't think that you are somebody, but you are. You think you're nobody, but you're somebody. And that somebody contributes to the greater picture. Energy is still distributed. We just don't think about it like that. I could say for myself, I kind of felt like that too. Where you think that you're not making an impact, and then you realize that you have the potential to change people's lives and how much of a responsibility that is. I take that very seriously. And there is something that is to be said when you feel called to do things, to do them authentically, and do them with the right intention. Because ultimately, fame, the internet, attention, it's still a part of the beast system. It can drown you if you're not cautious. It can consume you, that it makes you forget why you started. It can impact your livelihood in a negative way, where you lose yourself in the process. So it's important to be mindful how you carry yourself in all of it. What is it that you're trying to do? What are you contributing? Are you contributing noise, or are you contributing a more lighthearted energy? I'm hopeful that this space is a little bit more lighthearted. We can talk about random things. It doesn't always have to be you watching me do something in the kitchen or painting, although I love those aspects, but it's everything. And being mindful of that is important in how you show up in your everyday life, including the internet. This is a part of your real life. Despite if people don't think that the internet is real just because you're a screen name, I'm hoping you're a real person behind that screen name. And you can have your life here, but all of this infiltrates into your regular everyday. And ever since I decided to become a content creator again, it's 100% that. I'm thinking about coordinating what works. What is it that I want to do? YouTube still doesn't know how to place me in the algorithm because I have so many interests. And that seems to be the challenge, but that's okay because I love what I'm building here. Maybe I'm unique in that sense, is that I have many talents that I love to share, and a system can't pin me down. I love that to some degree. I'm not predictable, but I love the space and I love the environment and the culture, community that we've been able to build here. And although it's small, it's mighty. And it only takes time for it to grow for what its intended purpose is. So that is something to be extraordinarily grateful for. Because impact isn't just about, because I think that where things get confusing is where your impact isn't about convincing people of your greatness or what you're here to do. It's the capability of having awareness that you can change someone's life because of the attention and the time that they spend on you. So you have to use that wisely. And that's something that I really take seriously. I truly do. So if you go to the earlier part of my stream, we were talking about putting people on pedestals, and I was kind of having a stream of consciousness with that. That's the thing. It's like once you put yourself out there, people feel like they have access to you, where it's almost like you become a commodity. You become an object. You become an example. The humanity part of you kind of gets lost in that because of people's perceived expectations that you are supposed to uphold according to what they believe. And that becomes really difficult to maintain because that isn't necessarily in alignment with what you want to do, right? So you're always under constant scrutiny. Now, someone who cares about that will ruminate over it, or they rise above it and they just continue to do what God intends them to do. And guess the path that I'm on. A, follow everyone else. B, do what God says. I think it's B. And most of you know that it's B. It's a great thing. And I hope to encourage people to do that too. Do what works for you. Not because it looks right, not because it's what other people decide. Do what you feel is right for you, whatever that means. Only you get to determine that, you and your maker, no one else. That's the beauty of it. And I'm hopeful and staying positive that the more and more people tap into that energy, the more our collective consciousness and our society can evolve, because we're not looking to sabotage each other, we're looking to work together as a community. There's room for all of us. Absolutely, there's room for all of us. And it may not be because you're an online person. There's levels to this. Some of us are assigned to do this work. Some of us are assigned to be in a supportive role. Well, we've been through that before. I'm not going to be redundant in that sense. But you know our purposes are all different, but they're all needed to coexist in this ecosystem that is life, and that is the internet. Because as much as the internet is a crazy space, what a blessing it is to be able to connect to people from all over the world with like-minded individuals. That's a beautiful thing. It's really cool. I don't take that for granted whatsoever. But anyway, my lovely friends, my souls on the internet, my crew, my community, my people, I think it is time for me to Go Mini, aka go to sleep. Eyes tied. I had a wonderful day and now a wonderful start to the 4th of July. So, to all who celebrate, happy 4th of July to all of you. God bless America and all who inhabit this wonderful place. May we continue to grow as a nation and heal. And also, may we be able to evolve and transcend beyond all the BS that's going on. All the divisiveness may just be completely eradicated so that we can come together as a society. I will always pray for that. And for all who celebrate, I hope you have a wonderful and safe 4th. To anyone who isn't from here, happy 4th to y'all too, honey, because it's still America's Independence Day, and I'm an American. But, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will be back next week. I think I like the Friday nights. I will probably figure out an earlier time and have it a little bit more structured. Today was just an experiment to see who is going to be on at this moment. But next Friday, we will be in the kitchen again to wrap up my baking series, at least just this first part of it before we get back into painting. And yeah, I just wanted to see how a late night stream would go. My peoples are already asleep, and great. I need to get some Z's, but I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope that this, yes, Friday nights, I got you, Miss Melanie. I feel like that's kind of going to be the next thing because I feel bad telling my family. I mean, I don't tell them to leave. It's just they're very mindful and very demure. They feel bad. They're like, they don't want to be bothering me while I'm on stream. But I don't want them, especially when the winter time comes, it's not going to be feasible for them to spend, hours outside. So I think if I can create a system where I can be on like maybe like an 8 or 7:30 time to like around 10, that's a good 3-hour stream, maybe 2 hours. I think it should be plenty of time. And I can catch up with all you beautiful people, but I think that might have to be the thing, but I love you all. Thank you so much for being here, and happy 4th to all who celebrate. Stay safe, stay blessed to all my other peoples, and I will catch you in the next stream. Much love to all of you. Peace, love, and blessings. I will catch you next time. Bye.